Hi, I'm Evan Pantazi. Today I'm going to talk to you about some of the keys that I found in the ancient Bubishi. Now, whether these keys were the actual ones that the writer of that manual was intending, we'll never know. Okay, but it does fit everything that's in the book, and it makes everything from the healing aspects to the hand postures to the kata movements to the descriptions and the times and the targets all to co-join, okay, and it brings it into a coherent whole, okay, rather than this mishmash of just added documents. So one of the main things we have to do when we're discerning the Bubishi and trying to get down to the keys or how to decipher this manual is thinking the way that the Asian mind thinks. Now, they think completely different from our Western mindset, and because of that, it's very hard for the Western mindset to decipher that manual. For example, they think always in the yin and the yang. All right, there's always a positive, a negative aspect to everything they think about, and there's of course a little correlation in each of the other. All right, that's why you have the main yin-yang symbol having half white and half black, with a little black dot in the white section or the yang section, and a little yang white dot in the black section or the yin section. Now that correlates to the two main animals that are described in the Bubishi. You have the white crane and you have the black tiger. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the white crane is a yin animal, and it's far from it. Yes, it's a frailer bird when compared to the frailer structure compared to the tiger, and because of that, everybody thinks that the crane is a yin animal. There's a couple different things that we can discern about that. First of all, the crane, when it attacks or defends, has all outward motions. The wings shoot out, the talons shoot forward, as does the beak. It's an outward concussive type of an action, and that's what we see in modern karate these days. It's outward ballistic actions or concussive actions. Now the white crane, it's white for yang, okay, because of the white or the yang expression of the crane itself, the outward ballistic movements. When we look at the tiger now, the tiger is a bigger, fierce animal, of course, and everybody thinks it's yang because of that, because it's stronger. But that we have to look at it again in a different mindset. The tiger draws in. When you see a tiger, for example, attack a zebra or a giraffe, it'll dig its claws in and pull it down to the ground using its whole body weight in a contractive motion, much like you've learned in San Chin. So this is the domain of the tiger, and the black is because it's the yin animal, the compressive and constrictive animal, not the outward expression as of the crane. Now, pardon the music in the back. We've got a boat coming by, and yeah, he's just enjoying himself. I can't blame him. It's a gorgeous day out here. So anyway, when we look at the further depth of the both animals, now the white crane, because of its concussive and its more longer range ballistics, you're never going to be able to really penetrate down into the blood vessels and cause the blood disruptions. And because of that, we're hitting just then the nerves, the more superficial of the two structures. Yes, they're deeper into the body than the skin or the bone, but they are more superficial when compared to the blood. Now that action, when you attack a nerve, the opponent that gets the nerve attack will get a white flash in the eyes, and that's because the neurological system was overstimulated, and they get that bright flash before their body goes into sort of a shocking type of an action. All right, now when you attack the blood, that's more of a close range compressive and constrictive type of method. When you get that deep into the blood and you start to affect the blood vessels, you're going to drop the blood pressure. Okay, it's just a natural thing. And as you do, your eyesight fades to black, hence the black tiger hence the white crane. So we can see that these correlations in their outward action of a yang attack to nerve structures causing a white flash of the white crane, or the constrictive, compressive attacks of the pulling of the tiger to attack the blood and cause a blackening of the eyesight. It's all in the manual, and it's all in those keys. Once you start looking at the Bubishi and the techniques in there and the targets in there related to these keys, the more depth you're going to get. Now, these are just a few of the opening ideas and opening keys that I found to help me discern this Bubishi. I found these over a decade ago, and I've been working my art and my study of Kyusho and my applications toward that goal. Recently, I just did a couple videos. I did the nerve attacks of the white crane of Tenshio Kata, and I also did the blood attacks of the black tiger from Seiyuchin, and showing you exactly the keys I just mentioned in a more reality-based martial setting, so you can see the effects of these techniques. We verify it with the ukes that helped me with the filming, and you can see the different reactions. We've also taken these, of course, to the doctors. We've studied with neurologists, we've studied with cardiologists, we've studied with a lot of doctors, a lot of scientists that I've already mentioned. But in these two films, it's like accumulation of the keys that I just gave you. And it's interesting in design because the Goju-ryu that we took these two katas from, and these two versions of, they're just indicative of the Bubishi. As a matter of fact, Chojo Miyagi stated that the Bubishi was the Bible of karate, and if he didn't study it so deeply, he wouldn't have said that. Men back then had more integrity and character than today, and it's sad to say, but it's true. They would never have put something into their speech. They would never say something. They would never write it down, especially if they didn't fully mean it, believe in it, and want it to be documented for all times. Nowadays, people talk a little bit more without having a care of the integrity of their foundings, or their foundings for that particular speech or writing. So we have to also look at the honor system of the ancient Asian society, and it was much higher than by today's standards, and because of that, we have to really take their words, we have to take their writings and their documents and their all their different ideologies and methods, and we have to really study with that mindset. Of course, going back to the original mindset that I started this little film off with, and that's going into the positive, the negative, the yin and the yang. And when you look at the Bubishi, it's the nerve attack and it's the blood attacks. It's all laid out in the manual. Okay, once you start looking at the manual again with these keys in mind, you're probably going to see a lot different manual than what you had read before. So it opens the door, it makes it a little bit more coherent for you, and I hope it gives you an idea on how to discern that manual and look into it for the rest of your life, because there's so much depth in there. Like I said, I've been looking at this book and using it for decades and found so much in it that's propelled the Kyusho far beyond the fake pressure points and into the real structures that the original founders of the martial arts intended, especially the creator of the Bubishi. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, thumbs up. Take care.